Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I have an idea for a challenge. Can I beat every boss in Dark Souls 2 in reverse boss order as a sorcerer? The rules are simple. As the title says, I'll have to beat every boss in reverse order than what the game had intended. This challenge is based on the reverse boss order speedrun list on the Darksouls Wiki. So if you're interested in doing this challenge yourself, or are interested in doing the reverse boss order speedrun, I will link to the Darksouls Wiki page in the description below. However, this means that I won't be fighting any DLC bosses in this video. The second rule is that I will avoid damaging enemies unless that damage comes from a sorcery. However, I decided not to include damage that comes from failed parry walks just to be realistic. And finally, glitches are encouraged. So the run starts off like any other. Pick your starting class, your burial gift, create your character, and then make your way to Majula. So you're probably wondering why I picked a knight class if this is supposed to be a sorcery run. Wouldn't picking the sorcerer class be better? In a normal run, yes, but since I'll be doing a lot of skips anyway, I can take more advantage of the health the knight gives me than the damage from a sorcerer. But that presents a problem. I can run, but I can't fight. But if I want to show the world that I'm a big brain genius and not some brute, I'm gonna have to figure out some way to cast spells. But first, we're going to use our brains for some quick math. I needed to go to Shaded Woods as early as possible. In order to do that, I need a fragrant branch. According to Cheat Engine, the jump to Jay's Bonfire takes about 1086 HP. For the last challenge, I dealt with this by grinding for about 13,000 souls and using the cat ring, but this time around, I realized that if you level to 14 vigor, you have about 1028 HP. With the 3% increase from the blue seal and a 5% increase from the life ring, you can have just enough HP to make this jump. Now with this free branch, I can free Rosabeth and open up more of the map. And now that I'm in Shaded Woods, I can grab a bunch of souls from the area. And use them in Moglin's shop, and get the butterfly leggings this time. So I think you guys can guess why I wanted to go to Shaded Woods so early. I actually wanted to go to Brightstone Cove, for upgrade materials and probably for the most important item in the run. Second to the butterfly pants, obviously. You guys know what happens next. Parry walk, fog wall, 10k run, a little bit of teamwork, and you zip right through. Now that we're in Brightstone Cove, we can access Gardener to help us get out of church. And now we can get the Southern Ritual Band and 2 free attunement slots. But before we can take advantage of the souls, we're gonna need a little bit more knowledge. And for knowledge, who needs souls? And who would know more about souls than the dragons? I don't know where I'm going with this, let's just go to Dragon Shrine. Did you guys know that there's a free soul of a giant hero on this platform in Dragonary? After getting the Ashen Mist Heart, I went back to Dragonary to look for some more souls. I read on the Souls Wiki that there should be several souls of great heroes in this area, but I literally only found one, which I thought was kind of annoying. But thankfully Dragonary is just a pit stop and the real soul gain comes from the Ashen Mist Hearts. By doing Last Giant skip, and then afterwards Pursuer skip, we can get access to the Memory of Oro. I decided that deliberately farming enemies kinda broke the spirit of the challenge. But these giant memories are essentially filled with high level enemies that kill each other. But if you wanted to, you could easily keep entering and leaving any of the giant's memories and get like 100k souls in like 20 to 30 minutes. I just grabbed some of the souls from around the area, as well as a giant soul from Oro, and then Vamar. And with those souls we can level up some intelligence. But now we need some spells. Let's see what Carhillion has for me. So let's skip Dragon Rider. Let's move Licia down the elevator. And let's see what Carhillion has. Now that we can cast spells, we can't stop here, especially not with Soul Arrow. I'm gonna have to redo Lost Giant and Pursuer Skip, but this time we're going to Lost Bastille. For Strayed, an Estus Shard, and Macduff. And to upgrade my staff. Nice. We're gonna need some souls if we want bigger and better spells. And like I said before, farming didn't really fit the spirit of the run, so it looks like we're gonna have to fight our first boss. And since I haven't been to Drainlight Castle yet, it looks like we're gonna have to start huffing it there. Thankfully, the castle isn't too far, just a short jog through the vast nothing, just out of sight of the meticulously crafted facade. Now that we can cast some spells, we can open the door to the castle, grab the bonfire, and then I realized I need as much help as I can get. As long as you're being careful, you can avoid the Halloween jars, and get a free branch and the Lion's Mage set. Looking for more ways to do damage, I learned that Broom Tower has a Sorcery Clutch Ring. So to get it, I had to skip Skeleton Lords, Covetous, Nashka, Smolter Demon, and the Old Iron King to enter the DLC. Pull the lever, make this jump, and you had the bonfire. Originally, I was going to do the same jumps to the foyer bonfire like how I did in my last video, but I was having some trouble, and after messing up this trick a handful of times, I decided to look up what speedrunners did for this section. And look what I found out. Cool, right? Then I called the elevator, and then grabbed my ring. I also decided that I wanted to get Unleash Magic from Navland, so I had to tie a few loose ends first. It looks better on me anyway. I hope this spell is worth it. Now it's time for the boss fight. When doing this parry walk, after walking under this broken piece of geometry, you want to turn at a sharper angle than I did, so you don't risk falling off the ledge. Alright, let's do this. Excuse me? That was dumb of me. Come on. You know, I knew this fight was going to be difficult, but I thought it would be at least the boss that would make it difficult. Not the fact that it takes me 60 years to cast this. I don't know what happened here. I swear I pressed the dodge button and she just stood there. I think my problem is that I'm not casting fast enough. I need more DPS. According to the internet, the Witch Tree staff has the fastest cast speed, and it's not too far out of the way, just behind this door. Right. Get the key. Get the staff. I didn't have enough chunks to max the weapon out, but +7 should be good enough, right? This staff is probably faster at a higher attunement level, but at level 4 I'm not really noticing too much of a difference. You know, the more I do this fight, the more I'm realizing that the biggest hindrance to sorceries is probably the animation. And gravity. I was so close. Maybe I just need a little more armor. Okay, scratch the armor. I can use a shield too, you know. Okay, that can one-shot you. Out of all the attempts, this attempt was especially bad, so I'm just gonna play it in full. I'm not gonna lie, that last attempt really broke my spirit. Between the parry walk attempts and the fight itself, this challenge is taking forever, and if I want to get this challenge done at all, I'm gonna have to change my strategy here. By letting Throne Watcher plunge herself to her doom, you can completely trivialize this fight. The big guy really doesn't do too well on his own, and it really shows who the real threat is. Alright, Throne Watcher and Defender down. A couple of levels into intelligence, and we can fight Giant Lord. I'm not gonna lie, Giant Lord and his counterpart are probably the easiest bosses in the run. Alright, Giant Lord down. I leveled up enough to attune Soul Spear. This Sandra's gonna have no idea what's coming. Huh. Not even 60 Soul Spears can make this fight more interesting. Well, in hindsight, 60 Soul Spears is probably what makes this fight less interesting. But anyway, the Sandra is down. And note to self, if you want to skip the whole ending sequence of the game, warp back to the bonfire before the victory achieved message pops up. Or you'll be stuck here like me. I'll be right back. Next boss is Ancient Dragon. This fight is really a test of reading what attack the boss is going to do and gauging your distances. For this fight, you're going to want to maintain a distance in front of the boss and try to bait out his forward fire breath. And if he's not doing that, you're going to want to run away from him because he's going to do his flying fire attack, which covers a huge area, and if you're not already running once he starts to fly, you're pretty much always going to get caught by the edge of it, which can almost one-shot you, or more dangerously knock you into the void. Keep one eye on where you're standing, the other on what the boss is doing, and Ancient Dragon goes down. And with that win, I can level up to 50 intelligence and grab the Staff of Wisdom, but we're gonna need a bunch of Twinkling Titanite for it. So far I found 3, so we're gonna need 12 more. I grabbed the one that McDuff sits on. I grabbed one alongside the Faint Stone in Dorotheros. Grabbed one off this hanging corpse in Brightstone Cove Soldora. Got one from each of the 4 pursuers in the Lost Bastille. Grab 2 from the first dragon in Dragonary. Grab 2 more near the second dragon. And the last one near the third. Alright, now it's time to test our new staff. Next boss, Guardian Dragon. And Guardian Dragon is down. And the next boss is Vendrick. Oh boy. Parry off this hollow soldier to skip Twin Dragon Riders. And we've run into a problem. I actually wasn't able to do Mirror Knight skip. No matter how early or late I press the jump button, I just fall off the invisible ladder. I think it has to do with my right stick getting stuck after pressing it, or maybe the stick drift, but since I only have one controller, I wasn't really able to test that. So it looks like our challenge ends here. I cannot beat Dark Souls 2 in reverse boss order as a sorcerer. But if I did get the skip, what would the run look like? Demon of Song skip is definitely one of the weirder ones for me. I've always done parry walks by walking back and right. Not sure how well you guys can see the edge, but I have next to no space to move back. But as long as I'm careful, that little space is all I need. From the second bonfire, you can parry over this relatively small gap and open the shortcut. Before skipping Velstadt, you're going to want to kill these 3 hollows. This first one's standing next to the bell, the other one walks around the corner, and just wait a second and the final one will crawl out of the ground. These guys stop the wizard warriors from spawning and ultimately ruining your day. Parry walk off the Cyan Knight, and zip right through. Fighting Vendrick is super easy, especially after getting all the giant souls. Stay close to his butt, shoot enough spears into it, and Vendrick goes down. And next is Velstadt. This was a pretty easy fight, not much to say about it, he goes down in 10 spears. Next is the Demon of Song. Another pretty easy boss fight, he goes down in 8 spears. Looking Glass Knight goes down in 9 spears, probably 8 if I got a couple of crits. Twin Dragon Riders. I decided to pick up Soul Greatsword after being Looking Glass, and it absolutely chunks the both of them. The first Dragon Rider goes down in 5 swings, and the other goes down in 2. Dark Lurker, he goes down in 7 spears. Next is the Rotten. I took a quick pit stop at Aldia's Keep to grab Soul Geyser, and took him down in 5 of them. Royal Rat Vanguard. I decided to bring Soul Greatsword for this. It's probably one of the best sorceries against this boss because the White Sweep can take out like 3 to 4 rats in one shot, and 2 shots for the boss. Now up is Freya. I decided to bring Yurn with me because the mini spiders are one of the few enemies in the game that Yurn can actually distract, which will make the fight a lot less annoying. Freya goes down in 5 spears. And let's do it again for good measure. 12 spears for Enchi plus Freya. And now we can get Crystal Soul Spear. Time to use it on Magnus. 2 spears for him, and 9 for the rest of the congregation. Royal Rat Authority. 4 spears for the mini rats, 1 each, and 5 for him. I misread the list and thought that Mithra was next, so technically I failed the challenge here. But regardless, Mithra goes down in 6. Old Iron King is still a very easy boss. You can basically do half his health and damage even before he gets close to the arena. Old Iron King goes down in 7. Smelter Demon. There's not much you can say about this fight. He goes down before he can even buff his sword. 8 spears, which makes him more resilient than the main boss of the area. Nashka. This was supposed to be Mithra's spot, but I clearly can't read. 10 spears. I think her magic resistance really helped her in this fight. Covetous Demon. Could only really waddle a few feet before going down. 4 spears. Skeleton Lords. Even though every skeleton goes down in one shot, I needed a lot of them. 17 spears. Executioner's Chariot. I definitely took more damage from the roaming skeletons than I did from the boss. 4 spears and a gate. Lost Sinner. Probably one of my favorite bosses in the game. I would leave it for last, but that's not the boss order. 3 spears. Belfry Gargoyles. Like the other gang fights, this one took a whole bunch of spears. 10 to be specific. I want to take a second here to show off a pretty cool parry walk to get the Rune Sentinels, especially if you don't have an extra branch. Rune Sentinels. 3 each, they go down in 9. Flexile Sentry. Okay, clearly I am too powerful for this point in the game. They go down in 3. Old Dragon Slayer. I thought I could just spam spears at him until he got a really good hit at me with the last of his health. Dark Ornstein goes down in 4. Dragon Rider. You know, it's kinda weird actually fighting him this time and not letting him fall into his doom. 3 spears. The Pursuer. I kinda wish that I could shoot these spears as a barrage from the ballista, but I could only dream. 3 spears. And finally, the last giant. I had a thought while entering the fight. What if reverse boss order was renamed True Lost Giant %, as you fight the last giant last, or at least the boss bigger than you. 3 spears. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated on when I do another crazy run like this. If not, tell me why in the comments. Either way, have a great day everyone, and stay safe.